Hello, and welcome to Leadership as a Philosophy, Not a Checklist, the Archetypal Leadership Model. This is its own standalone because what this is basically is the Rosetta Stone for all the research that was done on this channel up to a few months ago. And then this is now the objective standard that is going to be used to evaluate everything going forward. So this standard came from over 400 hours of research. I've read and listened to and watched movies and documentaries about leadership examples and principles going back thousands of years and across a bunch of different cultures. And what ended up settling out of that was this chart. And so this chart is a confluence of three different things that have come across, or that have been around for thousands of years, and for some reason we're not doing them. So this isn't mine. This is a collection of what is. And so you can do your own research and follow up and see what happens, but this is how we're going to go through this. So basically, these four archetypes are from the Tao Te Ching. So one of the scriptures says there are four types of leaders. It might be translated wrong, but there's four types of people in charge. There's the one that's barely noticed, which is best, then loved and praised, feared, and then despised, which is the worst. Well, it turns out that these categories are a cross of talent and character. So leadership is a rare creative talent that is just as rare as any other creative talent. If you think in your life, who would you voluntarily follow? Well, that person is some confluence of these things up here in the barely noticed category. But those people are rare. Just like artists are rare, musicians are rare, people that can dance and write, anything that's a creative enterprise, there are a certain group of people that are really good at it because they have that talent. And the talent is unequally distributed, unfortunately. So technically you can teach somebody the steps, but they have to have the talent to implement it. So you can technically teach somebody some leadership words, but that doesn't make them a leader. So we can't make everybody a leader. So the definition of leadership: they attune competence in environmental hierarchies in pursuit of a goal. Here's the objective, here's the environment, here's the people and the tools. We have to get the right tools, and we have to get the environment to optimize the productivity of those people and tools for the goal. And that can change all the time. And a leader is the one that somehow weaves all that together to make it happen and optimize. The problem with that is that the ability to lead people gives you power, and that power is corrupting, as we know. So what modifies or limits the corruption are four essential character traits that are in a positive form that have been around again for thousands of years. So it's humility, integrity, empathy, and vigilance. All four all the time. You approach every situation with those four character traits. Now, the opposite is you can have the talent to lead people and be arrogant, dishonest, indifferent, and negligent. And then you end up with some of the worst examples we've had, where millions of people are following somebody doing a terrible thing or terrible things. Well, that's because they had the talent. And for some reason, we follow people with that talent. Again, so here's the four character traits. And so this chart is the objective standard based off of thousands of years of examples. I just put together the chart to make it something that we have. And it's a standalone because I had one of my viewers say, look, I've been following you for a while, but it still would be nice to see the collection of what we're doing so I can apply it to what's going forward. So you're going to see this link on every video now to go watch this if it's your first time here, to understand what we're using as an evaluation. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.